Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And the second video for tonight, we're looking at the penultimate video in the review series for V, the science fiction television series from 1983 to 1985. We started off with the original miniseries, The Final Battle, that's a follow-up miniseries, and then we started looking at episode by episode of the regular television series that followed The Final Battle. And we are, in the last video, finished up to episode 15, The Wildcats. So we move on to episode 16, 17, and 18. I'm drinking a Coke. It's a slightly warm evening. It kind of hits a spot. I wanted a 7-Up or a Sprite, but I picked up a Coke instead. Anyhow, in episode 16, The Littlest Dragon, it's a very familiar reappearance of what would you call it, a prop, kind of like it's the alien baby that we actually see from The Final Battle, but it's a different character over here. So the visitors are planning to ambush several resistance operatives with a hidden explosion device, and there is they actually lure them with false information. So you have Mike Donovan, Kyle, and Willie who are there, and they realize it's a trap. And however, with the help of Robert, who is a fifth column member, he steals the, I'm going to read it from here, beryllium crystals that power the laser cannons, and therefore they are not able to shoot at the resistance. So he steals them, and then he takes his wife Glenda, who's pregnant and about to deliver a baby. The actress is Wendy Fulton. I'm not really sure what I've seen her in, but I've seen her in something else. So they decide to leave for Earth in a shuttle. So Philip decides to go behind them because he's placed a tracking device on the shuttle, so he knows where they're going to go. Diana decides to send Angela, a cadet who has got a history with Philip. She's very violent, and Philip has actually put her down. He used to be her training instructor. Perhaps there was something else going on with them. It kind of is implied. I'm not really sure of this particular actress as well. I've seen her in something else, probably something in the late 80s or maybe the early 90s, but I can't really remember. I've been trying to look her up in Wikipedia and on IMDb, but let's give it a try once again. I can't really find out anything about this particular actress, but she is, I don't know, it's just because I've seen this episode millions of times, and it's just that she's that familiar, but I do know that I've seen her in something else. We'll try to find out. Angela is played by Leslie Bevis, B-E-V-I-S. Oh yeah, she's been in Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Probably that's where I know her from. She just looks familiar, that's it. Anyway, coming back to the episode. So we have Angela joining up the team, and she and Diana plan something. Diana says she can actually promote her, give her her own give her her own team to look at. She can get promoted, but Philip will obviously stand in her way. So she says, if you plan it rightly, Philip and Mike can have a showdown, and you can kill both of them, ensure that neither of them actually survive. And either way, she's going to be rewarded for her help. So Diana, in her usual wicked, crooked ways, feeds her some I think it's birds or rats, I'm not really sure. Anyway, so Robert and Glenda reach the Earth, and they land down in a particular area. It's an abandoned, kind of like a warehouse, or looks more like an automobile area where they've had a lot of motor stuff happening. There's a lot of abandoned cars and stuff. Anyhow, so they land there, and they meet with Mike, Kyle, and Willie, and they ask them for help. So knowing that they are fifth columnists, they decide to help them, but they can't move much further from there because Glenda's about to deliver a baby, and Philip and Angela, along with their team, they come down, and then there is a shoot-off, or a standoff is what I can call it. And so, you know, the baby, they end up delivering the baby, and that's the scene that is kind of, most people who have seen this will never forget the alien baby coming out. And I remember they actually give him a bath in motor oil, and all the humans are shocked. Willie tells them, so he becomes like a want-to, and that's the word that they use, kind of like a godfather, a special friend of the family. He's feeling a little lonely at this particular time because he doesn't have any other alien. That's what I wonder. How come there aren't any other Fifth Column members who have joined the resistance? Maybe they all got killed, I'm not really sure. But that's never really explained. He's the only one at that particular point, and he's the only one we actually see in the television series. So he's kind of feeling lonely. So the birth of the baby happens at the right time. Robert and Glenda are glad to have someone like him or Mike or someone to be the one to. So Mike says Willie is the perfect person, and then they agree. So he's like an uncle. Anyway, they have a shootout, and finally Kyle is injured, as is Robert. So it's only Mike who actually has got who's able to stand on his own feet and fight against them. So Philip offers a truce, kind of. He says he will go hand to hand in combat with Mike, and if he is killed, he makes Angela says that they will go free. So, excuse me, burping a lot. So they have a fight. Philip still believes that Mike killed his brother Martin, and while they're fighting, Mike tries to convince him. However, Mike gets the upper hand because all this time we've been told that Philip is a great warrior, but Mike still managed to get the upper hand, and he's about to beat Philip with a pipe, and he's lying on the ground. But the face being so similar to his really close friend Martin, he says Martin was my friend, and I would never betray him. I would never kill him because he is someone who actually helped me quite a lot. Philip is now convinced because Mike could have killed him, and then Angela comes along with a weapon, and then she says she's going to kill both of them, and tells her that you're a fool. It was Diana who actually killed Martin. He was a traitor. Philip is hearing this for the first time, so he's got his mind changed, and she's about to kill the both of them. However, Glenda decides to take a weapon and shoot her dead, saying that you're not going to be killing my baby today, and she goes back in. So Philip is getting confused over here. So Philip says there's going to be no more fighting right now. So he says, he shakes hands with Mike and tells him, I kind of understand what's happening now, so I'm going to go back. Angela is dead, Diana's plans are foiled, and now you've got Martin, who's going. Sorry, keep making that mistake. Philip, who's going to be the new ally for the resistance. And we will move on to the next episode, which is episode number 17, called War of Illusions. And this is about a young teenage computer whiz who hacks and disrupts the Visitors' battlesphere system. Unfortunately, his area, they managed to trace where the signals are coming from, but his father sacrifices himself, sort of. He gets captured instead of the kid, and the kid escapes. One more thing, this kid is kind of familiar. This kid actor is kind of familiar. I'm not really sure who he is, but I do know that I've seen him in something else, so I'm going to try and see who this actor is. Conrad Janis plays the Doctor, David Atkins, and Josh Richmond plays Henry Atkins, the teenage son. So he's a computer genius. I don't know, I've seen him in something else. He's got a very familiar face. Anyway. So yeah, in this episode you also get to see Diana bedding Lieutenant James, promising him this, that, and all that. She gets around. um, so the Resistance are able to find young Henry, and they convince him that, it's very important that he hacks back the battlesphere once again and destroy the shuttles that are actually trying to attack Earth, because otherwise they don't stand a chance. They sneak into Science Frontiers, and they have a fight out over there. Again, this is several things, like in several episodes. It seems like the Resistance is almost captured, but very easily they're able to escape from there. Of all things, Elizabeth gets the power back on, and the elevator door closes. Mike and Willie fend off all the alien soldiers, and James, while the teenage boy, he manages to hack and destroy the battlesphere plans. So they're flying in circles, all the shuttles are flying in circles, and they go and crash against each other. Of course, what you're basically seeing is several shuttles being destroyed, as seen in several other episodes, rehashes from the miniseries and stuff. This is where the budget actually, I believe the budget for each episode was actually $1 million. So I'm still surprised how come they had so many reshoots done. I mean, not reshoots, but stock footage being shown. So that plan is destroyed, and they escape from there. And Philip helps get Dr. Atkins back to his son, along with some other humans who were captured. He was on the mothership being interrogated, and of course the visitors know that it's not him, because he's not able to hack into the battlesphere system, and it seems that earlier he was able to do it quite easily. Alright, what I'm actually going to do is, I'm going to stop it right here. I'm going to do episodes 18 and 19 in another video, and that will end the series at this moment. So take care, guys. I'll upload the other video pretty soon. Take care. Bye.